weather has certainly gotten colder, but along with the colder weather comes one of our favorite birds.
The sandhill crane.
It's one of our favorite birds because that's what Rob spent his internship working with, sandhills and hoopers. We do understand there is one hooper out here. They were tracking it earlier today, but we haven't been able to lay eyes on it yet. So, Rob, tell us a little bit about the program you were working with when you worked with the sandhills and hoopers.
I worked with at Patuxent Wildlife Research Center in the captive breeding research program. And what we did is we actually raised hooping cranes, and we would let them go to bring up the population since it was endangered. It still is, but it's getting better. When they were babies, they would imprint on us when we were in a disguise, I guess a crane disguise or whatever, and they'd follow us walking around. And then as they got bigger, we got into a ultralight, and we push it along, and they follow walking behind the ultralight, so they get used to the ultralight. And then we'd start the ultralight so they get used to it, and we not fly but make it move along the ground. They'd follow that with the engine on, and when they got big enough to start flying, we take off with the ultralight, and they'd fly after the ultralight. So what they did is they took them to the top of their flyway, which I think was in Wisconsin, and they would fly these ultralights down along the pathway down to Florida, and these cranes would follow them in the air. And when they got down to Florida, they'd leave them there, and the next year when it was time for them to migrate up, they would migrate back up by themselves.
That's really amazing that they must have had some sort of internal GPS or something so that they could find their way back on their own.
Yeah, it's quite a miracle. It's just amazing. How do you just get that by accident? I mean, that's some real God-given talent.
It sure is. Speaking of God, as you were talking about imprinting the birds so that you could lead them on the migration route, it kind of made me think of, as parents, when we're raising our children, we need to imprint them on the Bible and on God so that they can follow Him where He's leading us.
Yeah, that would be very good. You get your God position system, I guess.
There you go. So that's just something we want to encourage you to not only continue to grow in your relationship with God and discovering more and more about Him, but also lead your children in that way. Because one day they will be out on their own, and life is certainly going to hit them with some unexpected twists and turns. But if they know the Bible, then they're able to follow God, and they will go on the journey that He has planned for them.
And they'll follow the route back home.